And so as you come to your comfortable seat, the screen doesn't want to go away. There we go. As you come to your comfortable seat, again, we are going to be using a strap closer to the end, and that can be a belt. It can be a smaller towel, sometimes works. And so if you need to run and grab something, feel free to, but then start to set yourself up into a comfortable seat. And try to find that place, whether it's elevating your hips or sitting in another way than cross-legged, whatever it happens to be, that makes it more easy to sit. Okay, so this initial sit, or all of the times that you sit really, are meant to be comfortable. And that can be a tricky thing, because sitting cross-legged can be tough on the hips, on the low back, all sorts of things. So here's where you get to take that pause and check in and notice what's there in your body. And then notice what you can shift. You can close your eyes here if you would like to. And then begin to bring your focus to your breath. As you bring your focus to your breath, start to allow your breath to slow down and become more full. Sending it into more places in your body. And utilizing it as that tool to help you sense and notice what's present. Body sensations, thoughts in the mind, whatever's there. And then bring hands to connect that heart center. And as you gently press your palms together, lift your heart up a little higher. On your exhale, bow toward your heart. Just taking a moment to honor yourself for being here, present on your mat, giving yourself this chance to pause. Then as you softly open your eyes and release your hands down, you can lift your gaze here and then walk your hands just slightly behind you, coming up onto your fingertips, and begin to press down. Start to lift up and open through the heart space. And as you lift through the heart space, expanding and opening through the front of the chest, feel your shoulder blades engage. And now tuck your chin towards your chest. A little length through the back of your neck here. You can even shake your head no a little bit if that feels okay. And then lift your chin up toward the ceiling and even stretch it back a little ways, because this is a little bit of a back bend that we have going on. Take a full, big, deep breath. And again, if it feels okay, you can always add a little ear to shoulder here. Then inhale back up to center. Exhale, walk your hands forward. And we're coming into a little bit of a fold. So if setting your elbows or forearms down on something would feel good here, then you can always use one of your props to set yourself up a little ways. Take a couple big breaths. Move around a little bit through your hips and your sides. Just notice again for yourself what's showing up in your body and where. And then inhale, rise back up to a tall spine. Hands walk out to your knees. Press down a little bit with your hands and find a big lift through your sides. Exhale, take your right shoulder forward, your left shoulder back, in a little gentle twist. Inhale, sit a little taller. Exhale, your ribs draw in to help you twist a little bit more. Inhale, come back into center. And exhale, take that twist over to the right side. Left shoulder is forward, right shoulder is back. And as you take that twist, lengthen a little further. Lift up through your sides. Use your ribs drawing in to help you twist just a little bit more. Inhale, come back into center. And then switch the cross of your legs, coming to the less comfortable cross for yourself perhaps. And if you're not sitting cross-legged, don't worry about switching. So move your sitting bones. And then as you bring your hands to your knees, again, this time we're going to press our spines back into our cat-like pose. Your chin tucks in towards your chest. Take a big deep breath and feel that space between the shoulder blades expanding and contracting. Then inhale, sit tall, draw your belly and your heart forward, coming into more of that cow-like pose. Shoulder blades are engaging. Take a couple big breaths into your front body. And now moving with your breath as you exhale, press your spine back. Inhale, draw your belly and your heart forward. One more full breath in this seated cat-cow. And then as you come back to a neutral place, draw your right shoulder forward and your left shoulder back in this gentle twist. Take an inhale and lift up taller through your sides. Exhale as your ribs draw in. Maybe you reach across with your right hand to your left knee or thigh or your shin, wherever it needs to be to come a little further. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist. Inhale, come back into center, and exhale, taking left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist, and then maybe you reach across a little further with your left hand. Take a full, big, deep breath. Inhale, come back into center, and one more time, taking that forward fold, realizing that if you switched the cross of your legs, that your fold might be a little bit more challenging or just different than it was on the other side. So it's your opportunity to notice. And now as you shift and move through your hips, also move through your sides and your shoulders, and bring awareness to any of those places in your body that have tension, stiffness, whatever the body sensation is. And then inhale, rise all the way back up to a tall spine, and we're going to come to our hands and knees. And from your hands and knees, if you would like, you can set something underneath your knees because we'll be here for a couple of movements. So feel free to set yourself up with some cushion, and then wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. From here, a couple movements in that cat-cow that we took while we were sitting. Inhale, tilt your belly toward the ground. Exhale, round your spine upward. Full deep inhale. Long, full exhale. One more big breath here, moving through your spine. Then inhale to a neutral place for your spine. You can set the tops of feet down if your toes are tucked. Big toes together, knees wide, and settle hips back toward your heels for a child's pose for just a moment to remind yourself that this is a place that you can come to anytime you would like. Anytime your body is calling for a break, or anytime you'd just like to pause. Full breath. Now inhale, come back to your hands and knees, your tabletop position. And wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Next inhale, you're reaching your right leg back, lifting it up off the ground if that's comfortable. If not, you're welcome to keep your toes touching the ground. Left fingertips walk forward here, so we have a little opposite action happening. Before you consider lifting your fingers, lift up with your side waist. Lift up with your ribs, toning through the low rib area, toning through the low belly. If you'd like, you can lift your left arm. Take a big full breath here, strong through the core. Take one more deep breath. And exhale, hands down and knees down. Pause and reset yourself. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then from right here, think of lifting your rib cage up. Extend your ribs and collarbones forward. And now inhale, left leg lifts. And again, toes can always touch the ground instead. But notice what happens to your core when you lift your legs. So lift your sides up again. And then reach your right fingertips forward. As you stay strong through your low belly and your ribs, then you're welcome to lift your right arm if you'd like. Take a full breath. One more big breath right here. And exhale, hand down and knee down. Take a moment on your hands and knees to sway hips side to side, getting a little bit into the outside edges of your legs. And now, one more thing that we'll do with this opposite balance. And again, you're always welcome to have toes and fingertips on the ground. So from your hands and knees position, engage through the core. Low belly and ribs lift. Inhale, right leg reaches back, left arm reaches forward. Take a big deep breath here. You're lifting through your rib cage, but still extending your collarbones forward. On your exhale, you're drawing knee and elbow in toward each other to touch or to come close to touching. Inhale, reach them both long. Exhale, elbow and knee to touch. Inhale to reach them long. One more time. Exhale, elbow and knee to touch. Inhale, reach them long, lift through your sides. And then set. Hands down, knees down. And again, hips back towards your heels into your child's pose. To take a little bit of a rest, give your wrists a break. You can always turn your palms up. Set your head down, take a full breath. Then inhaling, rising back to your hands and knees. And you're gonna set yourself up again. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And root with palms and fingertips. Start to find that lift through your rib cage. So you're expanding into your back body. Then inhale, left leg reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Pause and re-engage through the core. And now as you exhale, knee and elbow come to connect. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, knee and elbow to connect. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale to connect. Inhale, reach it long. And exhale, hands down, knees down. And now from this place, we're going to make our way into our forward fold at the front of our mats. You can do that right here from your hands and knees, stepping forward, or lift up to a down dog and then step forward, your choice. As you come to your forward fold, if you have tight hamstrings or hips or low back, maybe take your feet a little bit wider. Maybe bring fingertips up onto props here. That's always an option. Little bend to your knees. Inhale, lengthen part way, heart forward, sitting bones lift. Exhale and fold. Then hands to hips. Press back on hips. Lift shoulders and elbows up and rise all the way up to stand. And as you come up to stand, then you're welcome to walk your feet in a little closer if you have them wide. Feet inner hip bone distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root them down. Turn your palms open. And as you lift up and open through your shoulders, you're welcome to close your eyes here. Take a full breath. And then softly allow your eyes to open and inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bend knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold. Fingertips plant, you're stepping your right foot back into your lunge. And then you're turning your right foot to plant your heel. Your foot's parallel to the back of your mat. Inhale, rise all the way up to your warrior two position facing the right side. Left knee is opening up towards your pinky toe edge, and lifting up through your heart space, and taking a couple full breaths. Gaze out over your front fingers. And then exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Find your prop or props, whatever you're using. Tuck your back toes, and you're bumping your back foot in a little ways so that your foot is aimed considerably forward on that back leg. Rise up to the highest point of whatever you're using for your props and work your left leg towards straight. If you have some tight hamstrings, then a bend is always okay. We don't need to force anything to happen here. But big toe mound pushes down on your left foot and wrap your left hip back. And now as you extend your heart further forward, longer through your spine, longer through your front body, take a big breath into what you're experiencing here. And now inhale, bend into your front knee, and we're stepping forward, coming into our forward fold at the front of our mats. And again, you might have blocks underneath your hands here. Make sure you have at least a little bend to your knees. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Shins are always straight up and down as opposed to pushing back. Exhale and fold. And then plant fingertips. You're stepping left foot back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back heel. And inhale, rise up to your warrior two facing the left side. And again, as you bend into your front knee and turn your knee open toward the pinky toe edge, lift up through your sides. Reaching through your fingertips and plugging in with your shoulder blades, take a deep breath. Exhaling, hands come down to the front of your mat. You're locating your props, whatever you happen to be using. Chair, stool, blocks, your choice. Back toes tuck under, and then bump your foot forward so your whole foot can come to the ground, or at least come close to the ground. And then work your right leg towards straight. Big toe mound is pushing down. Wrap your right hip back and extend longer through your front. Think of lifting up with sitting bones, extending your front ribs and collarbones. Full breath. And then inhale, bending into your front knee and stepping forward with both feet. Exhale, take as deep a fold as you need. Just remember that we're keeping our knees soft, not locking out our joints. Your head can release and relax down. Feel free to nod and shake your head here if that feels good. And then hands come to your hips and lift up with shoulders and elbows and rise all the way up to stand. And as you come up to stand, we're going to find a balance now. And so if you want to, you can always come to stand with your back against the wall or your side against the wall, whatever you need. But we're going to balance first on our right foot and lift our left leg up so we're clasping underneath our thigh. And if a strap or a towel underneath your thigh works better for you here, then you're welcome to go there. So we're going to do a little hamstring stretch. So wrap your hip down on the left side and begin to push hamstrings into your hands as you extend your leg forward. As far forward as your body is ready for. Lift your chest. Shoulder blades are engaging. Full, big, deep breath. On your exhale, your heel comes back in and then release your foot down. Second side, find your balance onto your left foot. Lift your right knee up toward your chest and clasp underneath your thigh. And then wrap your right hip down and begin to push hamstrings into hands as you lengthen your leg. Again, lift your chest, shoulder blades engage. Take a deep breath. Exhale, heel draws in, release your foot down, and just pause for a moment with both feet on the ground to feel, notice. Turn your palms forward, maybe close your eyes. Deep breath. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold. Planting fingertips, right foot steps back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back heel. And we're opening up to that warrior two place again. Settling into your front knee. Think of that stacked straight up and down place for your shin. And open your knee up toward the pinky toe edge. Take a big, full, deep breath. Keep your knee bent and opening. Bring your right hand to your thigh or your hip. Left arm reaches straight up. As you reach straight up, the tendency is to rise up out of that front knee, so keep it bent and opening, and then stretch back. Take a deep breath. And on your exhale, one motion, hands come down to the front of your mat, finding your props. And then you're turning your back toes, you're tucking them under, working your back foot in to that comfortable place. Comfortable is relative, of course. So now set your right hand underneath your shoulder on a prop. And again, it could be a stool, a chair, doesn't have to be a yoga block. Left thumb comes into your hip crease and your left leg is straight or working towards straight. Big toe mound pushes down, press back on your left hip as you start to extend your heart further forward and then begin to revolve. Turn your belly and your heart toward the left side. Take a big deep breath. As your left shoulder blade works onto your back and your left shoulder tilts up, grow even longer through your spine and your sides. Exhale, both hands come back down to your blocks or the floor. Bend into your front knee and step forward. Inhale, lengthen part way, sitting bones lift, heart extends. Exhale and fold. Then planting fingertips, you're stepping left foot back this time into your lunge. Turn and plant your back foot so your heel is on the ground. And inhale, rise up to warrior two for that last side. Open the front knee and bend into it. Lift your ribs and your chest. Take a big breath. Back hand to your thigh or your hip. Front arm reaches. Keep bending into your front knee and opening it up, and then begin to stretch back. Reversing your warrior here. Full big deep breath. Inhale, back up to center. And exhale, hands find your blocks. And then your back foot is turning and bumping forward. Work your front leg towards straight. Left hand, your wrist directly underneath your shoulder. So use a block or a prop here if you'd like. Right thumb into your hip crease, press it back, extend your heart forward, and then begin to revolve. Turning your right shoulder up. Both shoulder blades are on your back. Take a deep breath and see if you can create more space through your rib cage, through your sides, your spine. Then exhale, both hands come back down to your blocks or your prop. Bend into your front knee and step forward. Inhale, lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold. And then from this place, you can step back to either hands and knees or a downward facing dog pose, whichever feels the best in your body. Take a deep breath. Then lower your knees down, hips to heels. Take a child's pose and check in. Inhaling, rise all the way up to your seat and come down to sitting bones. Legs extend, and we're gonna lay all the way onto our backs. Make sure that you can reach your strap or whatever you're using. Coming all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees in toward your chest as close as is comfortable. They can be narrow or wide, and then rock a little side to side, giving your back body a little bit of movement here. Sometimes your low back can gain a little more length. And now left foot comes to the ground and your strap is going to lasso your right foot. And then extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. And then if you want to, you can extend your left leg all the way out against the ground. That's an option. You can always take this stretch with your knee bent. But now hold on to the strap with your left hand. Strap around your right foot, holding with your left hand. Right thumb comes into your hip crease, and you're giving your hip crease a push. So you're pushing onto your upper thigh bone to give your whole leg a little rotation in the hip socket. You might notice your toes turn a little bit to the right. This helps to even out the hips a little bit. Take a full, big, deep breath here. And now we're going to take our leg across our body to the left side. And you might find that your left elbow can come down as your bumper here, or you might find that you want to put a prop underneath your leg. That's always an option too. It's where a pillow or a blanket or a block comes in handy. From here, the right shoulder gets to be all the way down, and if it is, then you can open your arm up to a T. Or you're welcome to just bend your elbow and take your right hand to your hip or your side. Take a big breath, pressing through your heel here so that you have a long stretch through the outside edge of your leg. And then for a moment, use your thumb and your hip crease to push your thigh bone away from you. So you're making more space through that right side. And now bend your knee to come back up to center. Give your knee a squeeze. And set your foot down. And then left knee draws in toward your chest. Lasso the ball of your left foot. So if you take the ball instead of the arch, then that helps you remember to flex sometimes. And now you have your choice. The right leg can stay bent here, or you can lengthen it out straight, whichever feels the best in your body. And now holding the strap with your right hand, take your left thumb into your hip crease and give a push. We have that movement of the whole leg in the hip socket, but ultimately we're lengthening our left side. So take a big breath here. We're also evening our hips out a little bit. Big, deep breath. And now just slightly take your leg across your body to the right side. And then as you start to take it even further across into this twist, you get to decide how that looks for you. Would you like to prop your leg? Would you like to use your right elbow as your prop? How does that look for you to keep the left shoulder on the ground? Flex your foot. Maybe stretch your left arm out if your shoulder is down. Take a big, deep breath. And then thumb into your hip crease again, pushing on that thigh bone. Press it away from you, creating that little extra space on your left side. Take a full deep breath. And then come back into center. Bend your knee. You can take your strap off of your foot. Give your leg a squeeze. And then set both feet down. And from this place, if it feels good in your body, to set a pillow or bolster underneath your legs for a little support as you come into your Shavasana. You're welcome to. You can always take soles of feet together and open knees up into a butterfly here. But start to find your way into a really comfortable resting pose, giving your body permission to let go and release anything else that you're holding on to. Take the time to set yourself up. And begin to take a deeper breath. Start to add a little bit of movement into fingers and into toes. And then as you're ready to bend your knees and roll over to your side. And slowly press yourself back up to your seat. Bringing hands to connect at heart center. Take a couple full deep breaths right here. Just taking this moment to pause once more. Have a very peaceful, beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.